Correlation, this is the other one. There's regression. In regression we have the variables are not equal. Like when I say they're not equal, they don't have equal status. One is the predictor and one is the predicted, or the one that's being explained. But in correlation, they are symmetrical. So when we're trying to find the correlation between two variables, and they always need to be interval or ratio data. Obviously you can't find the correlation of nominal data. I sort of wonder why you come here if you're going to play games, but never mind. I guess there's always the hope that might soak in through your skin in the meantime. Okay, so this is what correlations look like. This one here is -1 and that one's +1. Correlation is not about the slope, it's about how close the dots are to being a perfect line. So you'll see that's a perfect line and that's a perfect line. It could have been much less slopey and still be a correlation of 1 because it's not about the slope. Now here you see the dots are a bit further from the line, so that's 0.95. They're getting a bit further away, it's -0.8. So you see if it's that way sloping it's negative, that way sloping it's positive. Then you see they're getting more and more scattered. That's a zero correlation, there's no relationship between the two variables. And even here, you see it's pretty hard to see anything, but there's a slight correlation, so that's a correlation of -0.2 and so on. So I've just put those there so that you've got some idea, but you also, I expect you to have some idea of what they're called. So 0 is no correlation, if it's up to 0.1 it's very small correlation and so on. So those are just there for your help in the non-proctored quizzes. There's one in the non-proctored quiz that's actually borderline between moderate and small, and it'll accept both answers, so don't stress about that one. And it's just that if you're writing up a report, it's useful to say there was a small correlation, a moderate correlation, a very strong correlation, a near perfect correlation. And people understand that terminology. Okay, now we're not going to actually do a hypothesis test on the correlation because it's mathematically tricky and Excel doesn't give it to you, and I'm not going to make you do something for once. The null hypothesis is there's no linear relationship, and the alternative hypothesis is that there is a linear relationship. So you can find your correlation using Corel or the data analysis package. Either one works fine. You would calculate the p-value, but you'd normally be given it in a different statistics package, and you would reject it if the p is less than alpha.